I'm gonna teach you how to tie some stuff. Tying knots is a really useful thing. Now, there are a bunch of different knots out there, and knowing what ones to tie for what certain things can be very difficult to figure out. If you were ever involved with any type of scouting group, you probably know that there are many different knots out there. But really, all you need to know is just like one or two from each of the major categories, and then you'll be able to get by just knowing those 4 or 5 knots. This is not meant to be a list of these are the most important knots ever. These are just the ones that I can show you and the ones that I know how to teach and remember easily. All right, so we're going to start off with just a couple of real simple knots. This first one here, you probably already know. This is going to be the overhand knot. So the overhand knot's just going to be loop it around itself, go through that, and its overhand knot makes a little thing there. This is useful for a lot of other knots, use it in conjunctions with them. Another one that might be useful would be the bow knot, which is basically what you use to tie your shoes. You may not think of that as being a real serious knot, but it's one that you already use, and it is useful for a lot of things. And of course, the trick with the double knot, which is essentially tying a overhand knot right there. Those are ones that you already know. So let's go get to some other knots. We're going to make a couple of loops here, and there's essentially 2 different types of loops. There's going to be a loop that will slip and a loop that won't slip. A ridiculously easy example of a knot that won't slip will be an overhand loop, which is take the rope like that and just around and through there, just like an overhand knot, but now you have a loop there. And of course, as you pull on this, it doesn't tighten around it, it does not slip. So if you need a knot that won't tighten, that's a good one. One downside to this one is that as you really put a lot on it, that knot right there gets very difficult to untie. So that's going to be your downside to it. And so now a loop that does slip, I'm not really sure what the name of this one even is here, but it's going to be just do that, do this again, right over it there, and this bit just pulls right through there. So you grab this one and put it through that hole right there. And now you have a knot that as you pull it will tighten up. So it slips. So if you need it to tighten, this one is a good one for that. One nice thing or one bad thing, depending on the situation you're in, about this one is that when there's nothing in the middle and you pull on it, it just destroys itself and goes away. I'll show you this one again. It's one loop over that way, one loop over that way, and then just that one goes right through there. And then it will tighten up there. What about tying things together? What if you need to like tie one stick onto another stick? Well, we can do that. First of all, let's just go right here, and we're going to tie a little overhand right there. That's why I showed you the overhand, because that's really simple. And that's just to keep that in place there. That's not going to be actually doing anything. We're going to go ahead and lash this. We're going to use some diagonal lashing here. Just right through the junction there. Go through like 3 times. Then after that 3rd time, you're going to switch and you're going to go through this way with it, just 90 degrees opposite. Then once we have that, we're just going to go around this part of it here. 1, 2, 3, up to there, and then just another overhand to just kind of finish it off there. And you have that lashed together. Now the trick to the lashing is to do this tightly. If you do it real loose, it'll flop around, won't hold on real well, but that's the way to do it really well there. Here, we'll go ahead and show you this again here. Start off with an overhand right there just to hold it together. I'll put this one on it, and it'll be 1, 2, 3, change directions, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. Then just go here and tie it off with an overhand. Let's do one more of these. We can do it right here. It doesn't have to be a perfect 90 to do it. Oh, looky, I made a triangle. Yeah, it's basically just some lashing right there for attaching things together. Show you how to put like 3 things together where they can pivot. This will essentially make us a tripod here, although you could do other things with it. Again, we start off with our nice little overhand right there. That's why that overhand is so important. And this is just going to be going around this way. Just go around that 2 or 3 times there. And go to 1 and tie it back off. Okay, now we've got a little tripod here. And makes a little tripod that stands up there. You could actually make 2 tripods and like hang something between them like that if you needed to. One over there, hang something there if you need to like do something over a fire. It's a good way to make a camp crane there. You know how to tie that on now to get that to stay. But it could be a tripod for about anything. You could scale this up and go big, like hang a lantern from it. Okay, so let's say we need to tie rope onto a pole here or a piece of pipe or something. We want to be able to pull on that and not have it come loose off of it. How do we do that? Well, let's start off once again with our handy overhand. And what we do is we go down a bit, and then we're going to wrap around this way 3 times. 1, 2, 3. They do not have to be super tight yet. It's actually a little easier if they're not. Then we take this, put those right through there, and pull them through like so. And they'll tighten up good like that. If you really want to, make sure you got it. You can do like a second one on there. It's going to be like this here. It's going to be 1 going from that way back to that way. 2, 3, and right through there, underneath all of them. Out through there. Okay, now see if I did this right. Yeah, see, putting a good bit of force on that. Really, one of them is enough to hold, but if you do two of them, it is not gonna come off. Okay, we want to try something stupid here now. Because I got a triangle and I got this. I got hay now. I have no idea what useful purpose this would have, but let's see if we can do it. What stupid nut should I use here? I just tied together a tetrahedron, which I don't know what the purpose of this thing would be, but it's together and it's pretty strong. Any of y'all know why this is a tetrahedron and not a pyramid? I'll let one of y'all leave that in the comments. So yeah, you can tie some stuff together with just a few knots. Hopefully you learned something more useful than this guy here, but a few basic knots will help you with a lot of stuff. If you found this video useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and a like. You can go down into the comment section and leave any thoughts you have down there. And if you're interested, you can also subscribe to my channel and click the little bell notification to make sure that you catch all the videos that I post so you don't miss anything. I'm Jeremy with Poindexter G, and we'll see you next time.